Children in the dark. I'm not afraid of the dark, I'm afraid of what's in it. Why now? Why, after 20 years, have the forgotten memories of those events, which I so diligently tried to push out of my mind, come back to haunt me? But that's not the scariest part of this story. No, it's not the memories that frighten me. It's that they began to come with the memories. I can feel them. They appear at night. I hear their laughter, their whispers. I can feel them all around me. I can't remember how long I've been sleeping with the lights on, but it doesn't change the situation. They've come for me, to take me where I belong, because 20 years ago I shouldn't have survived. I remember. It was 2003. I lived in a small town just a few kilometers from the capital. I was 12 years old. My friends and I entertained ourselves as best we could, considering that back then, we didn't have the advanced technology we have now. We played soccer and explored abandoned buildings, as there were plenty of those after the collapse of the Union. No one had the resources to finish or demolish these structures. So many stood useless and neglected. Some of them still stand today, their empty windows staring out, reminiscent of times when humanity had grand plans. The events I'm about to describe took place in one of these abandoned buildings, a 17-story structure situated a few hundred meters from a large reservoir. The soil was unsuitable for such constructions, and the building began to sink under its own weight. Many legends and stories circulated about the place, claiming that serial killers, monsters, and demons roamed there. But did that ever stop us? The memories are so vivid and clear, as if I'm watching them on TV, every detail, every word, the time down to the minute. I remember everything that happened that fateful summer day, which raises many questions. Why now? And why after so long? August 20th, 2003, 4 a.m. I'm ready. I stand by the well with my backpack, next to my trusty bike, every teenager's dream at the time. I'm waiting for my friends Mike, Pete, Joe, and Bob. Ready? Joe asked without getting off his bike. Always ready, we shouted in unison and set off. The abandoned building was about 16 kilometers away. Our journey was interesting: races, illegal picking of grapes and walnuts, and even scavenging for scrap metal, which was a good way to earn money back then. Our plan was to fish at the lake until it got too hot, swim a bit, and then explore the cool interior of the giant concrete structure. To enter the building, we had to climb through a window or balcony because the basement and first 2 floors had sunk entirely into the ground. Inside, we debated where to go, up to the top floor or down to the basement, where, according to other kids, a sense of fear and hopelessness reigned. What's there to do in the basement? Pete snapped at my suggestion. The top floor offers an amazing view of the lake, endless fields, and the blue sky around. Isn't that beautiful? Pete, we've gone up there 100 times. Aren't you tired of the same thing? Let's fulfill Vass's dream this time. He's been asking to see the basement, and we've been putting it off. We have everything we need: flashlights, spare batteries, food, water, warm clothes. It feels like today is the day, Joe said, smiling, and the rest of us laughed. So we decided. Step by step, we descended, lighting our way, reading the graffiti on the walls, trying not to make too much noise. I don't know why such places, dark, gloomy, closed off, attracted me. Many tried to avoid them, but not me. After descending 3 floors, we faced a sad sight. The wet concrete walls were crumbling, exposing the rusty rebar frame. Condensation dripped from the ceiling. The concrete floor was littered with debris, empty bottles, and more. Silence and cold reigned, broken only by the occasional drop hitting the floor, making us look back nervously. After 40 minutes of wandering through the labyrinthine basement, we realized how vast it was. Walking from one end of the building to the other took less than 15 minutes, but we had lost our way. "Well, we're lost," Pete grumbled. "Stop complaining. It's not that big. We'll find the exit," Joe responded, though he was clearly nervous. "The exit is behind us. We came from that direction." I remember Bob insisted. "What do you think?" Vast Mike asked, shining his flashlight down the hallway, cutting through the thick darkness. I agree with Bob. Something tells me the exit is that way. I pointed my flashlight in the direction I thought was right, but I was wrong. "Let's get out of here." "No more coming back," Pete added, and we started our way back, hoping to find the exit soon. My Montana watch showed we had been wandering for over an hour. The exit was nowhere in sight. The guys were getting anxious, some on the verge of panic. But what happened next defies logic. In an instant, all our flashlights went out, leaving us in terrifying darkness. Everyone panicked, trying to replace the batteries, but it didn't work. The flashlights refused to turn on. I remembered my Nokia 3310 and frantically pulled it from my pocket, using it to light the space around me. Of our group, only Joe and I were left. "Where's everyone else?" I asked, looking around. "You're asking me?" "I was fixing my flashlight, and then you turned on your phone, and they're gone." We heard a scraping sound nearby, like something sharp against the walls. Turning around, we saw glowing red eyes in the darkness. We looked at each other and ran, trying to stay together. We ran for a long time, tripping over debris, falling, getting up, and helping each other. Something was definitely chasing us, keeping its distance but never losing us. At one point, I grabbed Joe's sleeve and pulled him into a room. We held our breath and listened. Whatever was following us stopped. After catching our breath, we ran again, guided by the faint light of my phone. Endless, purposeless rooms, long, endless corridors, darkness, and the ever-present footsteps drove us mad. When we had almost lost hope, we found the exit. Somehow, we reached the stairs leading to safety. As we started up the stairs, I dropped my phone. "I'll get it," Joe shouted, and went back down to grab it. "Leave it. Run," I yelled, but he continued. When he picked up the indestructible phone and lit up the space, we both screamed. Standing next to him was something huge, over 2.5 meters tall, holding a massive cleaver. With one swift motion, it severed Joe's head from his body. His lifeless corpse fell to the floor, still clutching the phone. The creature turned its head towards me. I could tell by the glowing eyes I hadn't noticed before. I screamed louder and ran up the stairs as fast as I could. I reached the 3rd floor, now the 1st floor, and without thinking, jumped out the first window I saw, not caring about the consequences, though I could have landed on debris or iron. I was lucky that time. I made it home safely, but my friends. After that, there was an investigation. They questioned me multiple times, but who would believe my story? They never found my friends, dead or alive, though they searched the building thoroughly. The basement, according to authorities, wasn't as big as I described, just a few rooms and a corridor connecting 2 wings to the main building. I still can't shake the thoughts of what that place was. A parallel world? The other side? An anomaly? Maybe it doesn't matter. I would give anything to change the outcome, to bring my friends back, to have never gone to that cursed place. For a long time, I couldn't sleep at night. I had nightmares, my friends calling to me, afraid of the dark, sleeping with the lights on. Through hard work, I managed to push the memories out of my head. I'm still afraid of the dark. I don't remember when the memories returned, but with them, I started to feel them again. Now I understand my friends have returned. They come at night, asking me to play, to explore abandoned places, urging me to go back to that building by the lake. It's still there, luring us in. My friends look just as they did back then, not a day older, still mischievous and cheerful. I'm ready. My backpack is packed. I fixed up my bike that was stored in the shed. It's 3 a.m. In an hour, I'll leave. My friends Joe, Bob, Mike, and Pete are waiting for me. I'm not afraid of the dark anymore.